Proceed, Senator Karen.
Mr. Speaker, we are forgetting the objective of this piece of legislation. The main object of this legislation is to give effect to the provision of the Constitution to decent housing, to access to decent housing to each and every Kenyan, Mr. Speaker. And we know legislation, Mr. Speaker, does not exist in a vacuum. So if we legislate on affordable housing, we need to know next, how do we fund this project? And that's why we proposed, the government proposed the 3% levy. The Kenyans complained, and the levy went down to 1.5, Mr. Speaker. It is our honor, we are privileged as a Senate and as a Parliament to be the ones who oversee the creation of this law, to be the ones who see the implementation of this law and provision of affordable houses to Kenyans. I'm surprised that Senator Sifuna does not support this. And if there's anybody who needs affordable housing, it is Nairobians. The other day, I went for a funeral matanga in a slum.
Order, Senator Karen. Order, Senator Karen.
I went to a funeral preparation in a slum that I had never been before. Mr. Speaker, I almost cried, and I want to take Mr. Sifuna. It is called Kinyago. I want to take Mr. Sifuna, Senator Sifuna there. We take a walk there, and I'm sure he will change his mind at the end of the day. Mr. Speaker, this is also an opportunity to spur the economy. Because when our youth have money and spending power, it is the country's economy that is growing. So let us not be one-sided about this program. Let us look at it wholesomely. And leadership is not about making popular decisions. That is why you are elected, to make decisions on behalf of the people in your counties. So don't go listening to voices of your county residents who do not fully understand. You're the ones who are supposed to guide them. Let them know what this entails so that they all benefit from this. And you know very well, even as you oppose it, you know you will be the first ones to want your people to benefit from it. Let's not be hypocrites, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Senator Karen, Standing Order 92 requires you to address a point. If it's Kiswahili, start and end with Kiswahili. If it's English, start and end with English. Senator Cheptumo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support this bill. And Mr. Speaker, I will say two things. One is that this is indeed the fulfillment of the social and economic rights as per Article 43 of our Constitution. And Mr. Speaker, allow me at this point to thank the President, because he has been very firm and determined about the implementation of the housing, the affordable housing program. Mr. Speaker, apart from this being fulfillment of Article 43 of the Constitution, Mr. Speaker, the committee on recommendation number 41A were able to appreciate the fact that, Mr. Speaker, our youth in our various counties, Mr. Speaker, in our various constituencies, because the policy of this program, Mr. Speaker, is that every sub-county, every constituency, Mr. Speaker, shall have a moment to be able to build affordable houses, creating, therefore, employment for our young people. And so, Mr. Speaker, it has an effect in terms of enhancing our economic viability as a country, engaging the youth, and offering decent and affordable housing to Kenyans, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to call upon all of us in this House that, Mr. Speaker, a time comes when we need to distinguish what is critical and important for the nation. What is convenient politically, Mr. Speaker, we should distinguish. Mr. Speaker, I would like to appeal to this House. This is the assembly of great leaders of our country. That, Mr. Speaker, we reduce the political engagement on matters national, which are of great value to our people. And Mr. Speaker, I am very certain in my own mind that as much as members of the minority side are opposing this bill, Mr. Speaker, deep in their hearts, they know this is a very important program. And so, Mr. Speaker, as we move forward, as we discuss our issues, our counties, and our country, it is important that we put our country's interests ahead of us, and then politics to come later. Mr. Speaker, I want again, as I said before, to thank the President for being forthright about this issue. He's been very clear about it, and that is what leadership is all about, standing for the country to do the right thing for our people. And Mr. Speaker, I support.
Thank you, Senator Cheptumo. Senator Murungi Kathuri.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And as a delegation from Meru, from the onset, I want to support this wonderful bill. Mr. Speaker, noting that housing is one of the basic rights that any individual should have. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the recommendations of the committee has really identified the key reasons why we need this affordable housing. Number one, we are short of good houses for our people. Number two, we are creating thousands and thousands of jobs to the youth who are